Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So, I guess a little bit of background. My wife and I are in our early 30s. We have a young, growing family. And in the last year, we purchased her family home for my mother-in-law. Some things kind of changed in our lives recently and decided we needed to move home and spend some more time with her. We are currently, I'm going to say, in between steps 6 and 7. So home is paid off. We've been basically banking everything else. We're in a position where
if
we're going
the
to have
home is paid off, you're in 7.
Yes. Well, so the reason I say it that way, we know we're going to have to do some pretty serious renovations to the house to make it work for us long term. It's on, a decent amount of land. It's in a good school district. We see our family growing there, but there's going to be significant, changes that need to be made to support our family long term. And I'm wondering, is a HELOC the right way to do that? I kind of went into the renovation process with the mindset of we do a little bit at a time and just kind of pick away, room by room and talking to the general contractor, the changes that we're going to have to make, that's not really possible to do it that way. So it's kind of an all or nothing kind of thing, I think, in their minds. And it's,
they're not paying the bill.
That's true. Yep.
If they won't pay the bill, they get an opinion on that. I understand that they have a structural concern or the approach to the construction, really but they're not taking into consideration your family. So what is your household income?
Last year, low 200s.
Okay. And so what's this project, if we looked at it in total, going to cost?
The current budget is right now 150 to 250, and some of that they're not going to determine until. They need to get inside the walls and inside the attic and the structural things.
Bull
we're
crap.
not to that point yet.
We're not going to start a project when we don't know within $100,000 what it's going to cost.
Okay.
You don't have a contractor. You got a guy who wants some money. No, we're going to have this dialed in detail as to what we're going to get into here. This range, let me tell you what that'll turn into. 350 is what that'll turn into, because this guy's making this crap up as he goes. No, thank you. No. So anyway, all right, let's just pretend it's a $200,000 tight, detailed budget that we know is accurate, as opposed to what you're dealing with now. And let's use that. You make 200. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the project down into chunks as small as I possibly can, which is what you were trying to do room by room. You may not be able to approach it room by room. You may have to have another angle on it. You may have to say, okay, the first chunk is $75,000 because we got to do this whole whatever, right? Yep. And then the next chunk is 10, and the next chunk is 30, and the next chunk is whatever. And just break it out in chunks, and then you save up and do a chunk at a time. Mm-hmm. And, if the first one is a big one, you hold off until you save that much money making $200K.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not going in debt to do it. Why would you need to?
Yep.
You make plenty of money, and you're going to be there anyway, so you can do this over time.
What are they telling? Is there a danger? Like, is there a?
It's inconvenience.
I think it's a convenience thing. I think there's some load-bearing walls that, really to do it, I think it's going to be the first big chunk. They're going to do all that together. And then I think there are some separate smaller chunks they can break it into.
Yeah. I tell the guy you're either getting paid or you're not. So you're either getting paid a little by little or nothing at all.
What's this house worth? Not counting the land.
So that's a harder question. Probably $250 maybe.
The house is worth $250 and you're going to pay $250 to repair it?
That's yep.
Wow.
and that goes back to the emotional element of it being a childhood home, and it's on a decent amount of land and would be hard to replicate for that price elsewhere too. I'm hearing it's a bad idea.
If you don't have a good architect and you guys don't really spend a bunch of time thinking this through, you're going to
overbuild.
No, you're going to build a horrible property because you're trying to take something that was not designed to be a $400,000 property and turn it into that. And so it's going to feel like what we call a country house, where you just add rooms and move walls around, and every time another kid's born, we add another room to it or something, and that's country built's what we used to call it anyway. It doesn't mean that if you build a house in the country, you're doing it wrong. That's not the point. If you're doing it this way, it's wrong. I'm afraid this is such a massive renovation ratio-wise that what you're trying to pull off is very hard to do. Let me say it that way. It's very hard to end up with a great end product that is a reasonable thing when you spend as much on it as it's worth. It's almost easy. It's from a tactical standpoint, not a financial standpoint, it's easier to push it down and build something else. A lot easier than try to take this clay pot that's already been through the kill and reshape it. Right? That's what it's very difficult to do what you're doing. Minor, if you told me you were going to spend $50,000 or $60,000 on a $250,000 house, you can do that. You can do a lot of stuff for that. That's a different thing. But you're talking about basically rebuilding this whole house, and you could really end up with a piece of crap.
I feel like there's a way that he could do that and still salvage parts of it and use that for the rebuild. But I'm saying you really need to think. You need an architect to lay this out so that when you're done, you don't build something that looks like a pretzel. It doesn't look like old lady in the shoe or something. Yeah. And because that's what this kind of stuff it evolves into a grotesque thing that all because of the emotion of it being a childhood home, and you made a bad decision. So it can be done, and I'm not telling you not to do it, John. I'm saying you got to really back up from this. You got to have a good, solid, detailed, accurate budget that you're going to hold everybody accountable to. We've got to break it into parts that we can cash flow, and we really need a good floor plan, engineering plan, wiring and plumbing plan that we end up with that looks like somebody thought it through. Instead of like, well, we need an extra bedroom, blump, Yeah.
That's jeez, man. It's a mess. So, you really, what you're trying to do is very hard to do for somebody who's never done it before, and not end up with a mess. Yeah, it's very hard to do. Be very careful, sir. Get every T crossed, every I dotted, everything thought through before you raise a hammer toward a wall, and everything dialed in. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in a financial mess with a bad product and something that takes years and years and years to accomplish and shouldn't. And then when you're done, you don't have a good thing. Yeah, it's very scary. Very scary. I mean, it honestly is a lot easier to build a house from the dirt. A whole lot easier, and end up with a great product than it is to do even a 40% or 20% rehab, much less 100% rehab.
Yeah, it's just got to feel tough because he's already paid it off. He's paid it off, and then he's like demolishing the thing.
yeah. But I mean, a lot of people do tear downs to get the lot.
That's true.
And but obviously, we're not going to get to tear this one down because it's a childhood home.
Yeah.
But all the emotion, he brought that up 3 times. So obviously, we're not bulldozing it. But wow, tough. You can do it, but you really need to lean in on the details. You need to be project manager extraordinaire. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Let's go to Greg now in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Greg, how can we help?
How you doing, guys? You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
You too.
What's going on?
Just want to say thank you. Yes, I've taken your course probably a couple years ago, me and my wife, and we got like $90,000 paid off in 2 years.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, basically, we fell off the wagon. I got a settlement from an accident. We'd made some stupid decisions. Now we're back in the debt about $55,000.
Wait a minute.
We bought timeshare.
Wait a minute.
We've done all kinds of stupid stuff.
Well, was it we?
Yeah, it was we. I'll take some credit for it too.
How do you tell us what happens where you pay off $90,000 and all that hard
with
work
the settlement,
and then you decide to just start borrowing again? What's going on?
I don't know. We just got away from it. I guess maybe having that kind of money just got to us a little bit. Maybe
more money, more problems.
I'm not sure.
How much was the settlement?
Basically, it was $43,000.
Wow. Okay.
And basically now my wife just recently, we need to get back on the budget. I was like, you know what? If you want to go full force and do this, then yes.
Yes.
I'm all in.
Okay.
And basically, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm with you. I'm like, if you're going to do this full force, let's do it. I just want to make sure that we figure out what it was that caused you to pay $90,000 off and get a windfall of over $40,000 and somehow end up in $55,000 of debt. Like that, there is something I wish Dr. John Deloney was here to help us uncover, but I want to make sure that I want you to go ham and pay off this debt again. But more than that, I want to make sure we get to the bottom of how the heck this happened, right?
Oh, I totally agree. But I suggested to my wife that we sell her car. Carvana will give her $25,000.
Okay.
And put my truck in it because it's $672 a month on the payment.
Okay.
So
I'm with it.
I want to try to eliminate that, but it's basically and get rid of the timeshare, obviously. But it's hard to convince her to be on board with all that.
Why?
She's down with, I don't know.
And that I don't know is the most important thing in this entire equation, because we got to know, because you can try to do this alone, but it's not the right way to do it, and it won't last because she's going to keep putting you guys in debt. So, and that's what basically my question is. What is your all suggestion? Am I wrong for asking this? No, I think that
I don't know what to do.
You've had a moment. You've hit on your own accord. You've hit that I've had it moment of, wait a minute, like we're going in the wrong direction. Look at our life, and you on your own have had that self-realization moment. She hasn't had it yet. So
I don't know. I mean, basically, she says, it's time. It's time for us to be on the budget. But I don't think she wants to be full force. I think she wants to just.
Why do you say that?
Here and there, because she don't want to get rid of the timeshare. She don't want to. She don't want to. I guess maybe drive a lesser of a vehicle.
She wants to be on a budget so that she can manage the debt.
She just wants to manage the money going forward, but she doesn't want to have to give up anything in order to do it.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
she's being. Listen,
no, I don't buy it, Greg. You do know. You know what's
she's
going on.
She's being a princess.
100%. She doesn't want to be responsible. She wants all the benefits.
And you guys got a little bit of money, and you were able to floss it a little bit and show it off. And she doesn't want anybody to see you guys go in the other direction. I got to call a spade on that. And that's what I think it is. I think that she's more concerned. This is just me, based on what you said. It sounds like she's more concerned on how it will feel and how it will look than what you guys will gain from doing this.
That's exactly what it is.
Bingo. Yeah, and I'm not trying to bash her.
And we're not.
I'm not for a lot of stuff too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But Greg,
I've done some stupid stuff
Greg,
too.
This is a marriage issue at this point. Because where this goes is this begins to divide you two. And I'm not saying that this is a 5-alarm fire, but this is a marriage conversation to say to her, here's how I feel. See, don't make it about her. Make it about you. Here's how I feel. Here's what this debt does to me. Here's what these payments do to me. Walk her through it. This is how I feel. Do you feel this way? Yeah. Like maybe ask some questions after you tell her how you feel and say, how do you feel about how I feel?
Yeah.
Because I think we got to get all the feelings out on the table so that we know what we're dealing with. And this may be I think it's at least a couple of sessions with a good marriage therapist to kind of walk you all through how you're seeing things differently, and you both share your emotions on this, and let's see where she's at on this, because maybe you haven't framed it the right way. I don't know.
Well, I'll frame. Let me do. I'm going to do Greg a favor, because there's certain things that Greg can't say, or he'll be, R.I.P. Right? But I can say it because
I like this.
I'm here. There comes a point in time where we have to become adults, and we have to act like adults, and the child inside of us kicks and screams and wants what they want. But let me tell you something. If I went to Sam Warshaw, my spouse, and I said, listen, we're wilding out right now. We paid off $90,000 and somehow we're in $55,000 of debt. It's time for us to act like adults and sell our stuff. If he said, well, I don't want to do this and I want to keep my car though, I would be like, boss up and sell your car. And that's what I'm telling your wife. It's time, Mrs., that you get on the same page. You got to sell your car, mama. Like, you got to give it up. And I know that your friends are going to see it. I know you're not going to be able to go to the Panhandle and have your weekend, vacations in your timeshare, but you got to boss up and you got to do this the right way. And your husband wants this and he loves you.
Yeah. I say because it's worn me out. I mean, I've had to pick up a second job and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm working from sun up to sun down. So it's kind of exhausting, and that's where I'm kind of at. I'm at exhaustion.
Greg, she's got to know how Mama. You feel, too. Jade's right, but you got to say, because if she wants to be married to you, then this will be a wake-up call. Mm-hmm. That's the reality.
Because you won't be able to go on like this forever.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Poor
tough.
Guy.
That's so tough.
Greg's working sun up to sundown.
Working day and night.
Greg's afraid to put his foot down.
And it's not that it's not like a man versus woman thing. It's we're adults. Mm-hmm. We're adults. Do adult things.
Create your free $Every budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the $Every app. Start budgeting for free today. Logan's in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Logan. How are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so real fast, I'll give you a backstory of where I'm at today. April of 22, my wife and I got married. Before we got married, I had about $30,000 in my bank account. She had $5,000 student loan and $17,000 car note. Pretty much as soon as we got married, paid that off, got that out of the way, took care of. We then rented an apartment for a year and decided we were going to stay there until we had enough money to put a good down payment on a house. Unfortunately, after that year, we had an opportunity present itself to buy a home from a family friend at a pretty well discounted price, well below what the home value was. We knew that it was too much house for us. It was a 4,200 square feet house. $315,000 is what we paid for it. First time home buyer, so we didn't have any money to put down. 0% down is what we got. 6.25% interest rate. We knew it was going to be a lot, but we tried anyway. We lived there up until November of this past year, barely making it, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling. Our marriage was struggling. We just decided we can't do this anymore if we want this to work, and we do. So we ended up putting the house up for sale, sold the house in 7 days for $415,000, so $100,000 more than we gave for it in March. After realtor fees, et cetera, we walked away with $77,000. Within the time that we lived in the home, we accumulated $10,000 worth of credit card debt, updating the home. It was built in 2002, so it was very outdated. And to try to get that home value up even more to sell it, we put $10,000 on a credit card. The furniture for us, and then fencing and new flooring, et cetera, et cetera. Today, I have right at $50,000 in the bank, $22,000 of that 77. I bought my wife a car. We just found out on Christmas Day that she's pregnant and due her first baby. I'm 26, she's 25. I have a car note for $37,500 is what I owe on it. So now we have 3 vehicles. 2 are paid off. 1 truck that I have is not paid off. $37,500 is what I owe on it. The reason I have
what are you smoking that you go buy a $37,000 car after you just sold a house because you couldn't breathe?
No, it was $22,000 is what I paid for her car. I already had the $37,000 car loan before.
What do you guys make a year?
$130 together.
Good Lord. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I've had the.
All right. What can I do to help?
You got a
what
Willy Wonka ticket, dude, and you blew your nose in it. That's what you did, man.
What can you? How can you got $50,000 in the bank after you sell both cars and pay your capital gains? You're probably even.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how much the capital gain percentage is.
It's not a capital gain. It's ordinary income because you didn't even hold the house a year. So it's a 35% tax on the actual gain, and the gain is not $415. The gain is after sales expenses, and you probably did some capital improvements on that credit card debt that you can deduct as well. So you probably have a $70,000 gain at 35%. Probably got a $20,000 tax bill. You need to sit down with the tax person and figure out what that is, but it's probably right around there. And you have cars you can't afford, and you went and bought another one.
Right.
Go sell both of them.
Okay, and
you're not going to, are you?
No, I will. I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, we live an hour from work, both of us. Well, we live rent free now on her grandparents' estate. Unfortunately, they passed away. They had a house here they didn't want to sell, so we're living here rent free.
So what? Does that mean you have to be stupid with cars?
No, it doesn't.
Rent free doesn't describe stupid cars.
Right. So we're just trying to decide: should I sell my truck?
Yes.
And,
yes.
Okay.
And you should sell the car you just bought her.
Okay.
Y'all are broke people, man.
Yeah.
You're broke. You make $130,000 a year, and you've made a series of bad financial decisions that have caused you to be broke. The best way to do it is go back to the last time you were standing on solid ground, which is when you had a couple of junky cars that were paid for.
And $100,000 cash in the bank.
Yeah, that was a while back. But let's get rid of both of these. Get the best car you can get for cash. And figure out what your capital gains are. So the $22,000 car you bought her, did you use the $50,000 cash to do that, or did you go get a loan on that?
No. We had $77,000 in the bank.
Oh, so now you got $50,000 after buying that car. So that car is paid for.
Yeah, we have two cars that are paid for, and one truck. My truck is not.
Okay.
So both of our cars are paid for.
Oh, good. Then just get rid of the truck. Get rid of the truck and pay the capital gains.
Right. That was our main question.
Yeah. Okay, I'm caught up with you now. Yeah. But dude, you got to quit buying crap. You don't go buy a $22,000 car when you walk out of this disaster you just came from.
It literally, it's the exact conversation you just had about breaking the cycle. We can't breathe. We got to sell this house. We sold the house. Hey, we got some money.
Let's go buy a car.
Let's buy a car.
Oh, let's get pregnant and then buy another car.
And it's like, I can't breathe again. Well, what are we going to do now? We got to sell the car and do this and do this. Hey, we got some more money. Let's go get a.
Yeah. It's like, thank God it's Friday. Oh, God, it's Monday.
Or we're in this rent-free house. Well, it's got to have new floors and a new roof and a new this. Let's put it on the credit card. We'll just pay it off later. We don't even have a house payment.
I think you could be debt-free if you sell the truck. Mm-hmm. And pay your capital gains and pay off the credit card and chop them up. And then you're going to have to make a decision to never do the stupid crap you've been doing for the past 3 years. You have to do. When I went broke, Logan, I was your age. And I had to sit down and do an autopsy, a CSI on Dave. And I looked at all the stupid butt stuff Dave was doing and had to go, if you want to live like this, you can keep doing the stupid butt stuff. Or I can stop doing the stupid butt stuff and have a better life. And that's why I'm yelling at you, because I love you. I want you to win, dude. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Quick question. Well, two quick questions. First, I own two businesses. One is a mobile home park, and I also am in the Airbnb business. I own 3 Airbnbs. I do have some debts, obviously on the mobile home park, a truck and a side-by-side. Is it okay to use money from one business to pay down debt in another business? So we make about $150 through our 3 Airbnbs. And that's kind of slush money. We use that for big projects around our house and whatnot. But our mobile home park, the loan on it in 2 years readjusts. So we also want to pay down that balance as quickly as possible before it readjusts. So is that a big no-no tax-wise? And
no, there's no tax difference. All of it is taxed at your rate. I assume these are all held in LLCs?
Yeah, they're 2 separate LLCs.
Yeah. So you know what happens? LLCs don't pay taxes, right?
Yes.
Whatever the profit is in the LLC lands on your personal return. That's where the taxes are paid. LLC, you file a tax return. You file a tax return on the LLC. You show the profit, but there's no tax paid. Then the profit then lands on your personal return, and that's where the tax is paid. So the point is, it's all your money.
Sure. So you can
move it around without any consequences whatsoever. You do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It's your money.
Perfect.
Now, how much do you owe on the mobile homes park?
The mobile home park, I owe about $650.
Okay. And you made $150 clear on the Airbnbs. Are those mortgaged as well?
No.
Those houses that are Airbnb are paid for?
Well, one is a guest house on our property. So,
Okay.
I mean, it just kind of is absorbed into what we owe on our house.
Gotcha.
One is paid for. We just finished paying it off last year.
Mm-hmm.
And one has $40,000 left on it.
Okay. All right. Well, pay the $40,000 off immediately. You probably got that in checking.
We will in a few months.
Yeah, be done with it. All right. Now, then you're making $150 on Airbnbs. What's the profit on the mobile home park? After bills are paid.
After bills are paid, about $5,000. And now that includes we're reinvesting into the park and upgrading it. So sometimes we've got a slush of $5,000. Sometimes we use it all.
$5,000 a month, or
$60,000 a year. You're making nothing on this. Why? Why in the world you have a $650,000 mortgage on something that's only making $60,000? Oof. That's horrible.
It's because we're putting.
How much are you putting back into it?
Well,
200, 300,000.
It has. No.
The thing ought to be cash flowing like a bandit.
Yes.
Mobile home parks print money.
True. Now, it's not a big one. There's only 13 mobile homes, and it also has a 4-bedroom house on it. Somebody left that in absolute.
Okay, something's screwed up about your numbers, honey. I don't care. Still something screwed up about your numbers. You don't have a $650,000 mortgage on a mobile home park that makes $60,000. That does not make sense. It literally should be making $300,000.
Okay.
Something's wrong. Are your rents off, or?
You know what? Well, as a mobile home park, some of our rents are pretty low. I mean, it's low income housing.
I know that. I said, are they not? But you're not charging. It's a trailer. Of course, it's lower income housing.
You know what? Half of them we have redone, and the rents are keeping up with the local economy. The other half.
Okay, here's what I want you to do, because I can't figure it out on the radio here. Okay. But I own several $100 million worth of real estate, and I've owned mobile homes, I've owned parks in the past. I don't own anything like that right now, but I know the numbers on these things. So here's what I want you to do: if you did not own this mobile home park, I want you to back up and ask yourself this tonight, and run the numbers. And you and your husband look at the numbers, and you said, "I've got the opportunity to buy this and go $650,000 in debt to buy this, and I'm going to make $60,000 a year after doing that. Would you buy it again?" The answer should be no to that question, by the way. But if there's other things that you and I aren't connecting on where this money's going inside this thing, which you seem to be alluding to, and there's a lot of money, I think, missing in this conversation, you need to look at this and say, do I need to not be doing a bunch of this stuff and instead paying down this mortgage? Because the stinking thing's going to reset, and I want you to pay it off. That's what I was working towards. I don't want you to pay it down. I want you to pay it off. And if you're making $300 instead of $60, you could do that before it resets in 2 years by plowing it all into the mortgage instead of into improvements in the mobile home park. And that's what I think should be happening. Yeah. But I'm missing some money here because you can't find it in our conversation. And it might not be there, but I think it should be. You should not have $650 invested in mobile homes that are going down in value and then only be cash flowing $60K. That sucks. If that's what's happening, you should sell that. If you can get someone else to buy it, you should sell it and get rid of it, because that's a horrible ROI in that such horrendously bad investment. But if you're making $300 or $400 on the thing, somewhere in there. There's something I'm missing in these numbers. Then, and you can get rid of this mortgage before it resets with the Airbnb money piled on there too. And I think you might be able to do that instead of fixing up the sidewalks or some kind of crap in the mobile home park. Let's get rid of the mortgage, and then we'll go back and do our improvements on the property, our capital improvements once we're debt free and we've got real cash flow. That, I think you might have the stuff out of order. That's what I think is happening. But if you really are $650,000 in debt on depreciating, losing value mobile homes, and you're only cash flowing 60, you got a really bad deal, and you need to get out of it if you can. It just sucks as an investment. Mobile home parks generally aren't that bad. They generally are cash money because Georgia and I talked to a lady earlier this week, Ken.
The Investing Essentials event?
She had, no, on the air here.
Oh.
She had 750 tenants, and of those, I think 60 of them or 70 of them were in mobile homes that she paid $20,000 a piece for, and she was making bank.
Yeah.
I mean, she was printing money.
Yeah.
Off of that. And so that's what normally occurs. And so
I think there's too many improvements here. She's alluded to that. She couldn't give us specific numbers.
What it sounds
too many
like.
redwood decks.
Yeah, or something. I don't know what you're doing. You're giving them all a hot tub. I don't know what we're doing, but it's like, I don't know what's happening, but something's got to change. Anyway, that's the thing. So mobile homes, for those of you that are looking for something to live in, never do that because they go down in value. It's a car you sleep in financially. That's what it amounts to. And if your parade of homes is going down the highway, you might be a redneck. I'm just saying. So seriously, and I love it. I'm not picking on you if you live in a mobile home. I'm telling you, don't buy one to live in. They go down in value. Houses go up in value. The place where you sleep should be going up in value. That's what you ought to purchase. If you're going to do an investment like she does, however, or the lady we talked to, she got $20,000 a piece in them, and the things are cash flowing. Yeah, she's breaking even every 20 seconds on those things, and she can buy another. And if they in 5 years are worth zero, she buys another $20,000 and throws it on the pile. Yeah. And that's a different thing. You're cash flowing on a depreciating asset model there, but that actually can make business sense. It's a pain in the butt to operate them, but it can actually make ROI business sense. So, wow. It's an interesting discussion, Andrea. Thank you for involving us in it. I'm sorry I wasn't more thorough, but that gives you some things to chew on and for y'all to think about. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, Caleb and Molly dropped by. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Been better.
Uh-oh. What's going on? How can I help?
We are $700,000 in debt.
What?
We are farmers from Montana, and we disagree about how to handle it. I am ready to declare bankruptcy, as awful as that would be. He has kind of dragged us through several failed businesses, and working it out and making payments just sounds kind of like another scheme to me at this point, and I'm hesitant to dive into that, and I'm exhausted, and we're kind of hopeless and don't really know what to do.
Okay. Break that down for me. How much is owed on the farm?
Well, we lease a farm, but we owe about $450,000 on equipment and, inputs and such.
Okay. And what is the other $300,000?
Yeah, that would be like, I owe my dad for some stuff, and then
how much do you owe your dad?
$50,000, and then I owe, for some equipment repairs and some chemical bills from last year.
Vendor bills?
Yep.
Okay. And how much is that?
Oh, it probably comes up to $100,000.
Okay. That's $600.
Yeah, and then there's another roughly $100,000 lawsuit that we're in over a equipment repair that we rented, 4 or 5 years ago now.
What is that lawsuit about?
Some repairs that were done to a machine that we rented, and I disagreed with all of them, and
you rented it, and then they said you broke the machine, so they did the repairs and sued you for them?
Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And so, in a sense, other than the $50K with your dad, this is all business debt.
Yeah.
In a sense. I mean, you've signed personally for it, but it's all business debt, and you leased the farm. Okay. You're still operating the farm?
Yep.
Okay. And so she wants to file bankruptcy. What's your plan?
Sell a bunch of equipment and get out of the debt, get out as much of the debt as possible and work out settlements with everybody.
Yeah, how would you work it out? I mean, how are you going to make money?
Well, I have a truck. I do some trucking in the wintertime.
But the bank won't guarantee that we can keep the truck or any vehicles.
You won't in bankruptcy either.
Right.
Okay. And so you quit farming and drive the truck to pay off the bills and sell off the equipment is your plan? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying, Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. But part of the equipment is the truck. And what is the truck worth?
Probably only $30,000.
So it's an 18-wheeler tractor?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it reliable?
Yeah.
In good shape?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What can you make driving truck?
Oh, it's so variable, but anywhere from 80 to 150,000 a year.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all got kids?
Yep.
3.
You talking about being over the road with that truck?
Yeah, I'm usually gone 2 weeks at a time and only home for a day once in a while.
But that's only in off season when you're not farming, right?
Right.
Right now. And what we're talking about here is you're doing that full time.
Right.
You'll be gone all the time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's pretend you filed bankruptcy and you walked away from everything. Toss everybody the keys. Clean start. Fresh. Done. What are you going to do for a living then?
Go get a job at a farm or something like that, I suppose.
How old are you?
30.
Okay. What were the other failed businesses?
We did custom harvesting primarily.
Custom harvesting?
Yeah, we own the combines and
I see.
Go to Texas and back and cut for farmers.
And that didn't work?
No.
Okay. And the other business?
That's about it, I guess.
Just one other business is all? So, Molly, you were exaggerating when you said several businesses.
It feels like several. There's been...
2.
Well, in the farming, and we were in business with his family, too, for a while, and so...
Did that go bad?
Yes.
It went bankrupt?
It's a partnership that sunk.
Okay. All right. And that was a different business?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it's the same stuff, just in partnership with them.
Okay. So, Caleb, what I am hearing is that you have attempted to do the farming business the way a lot of people have attempted to with large piles of debt 3 different times in 3 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured out this ain't working?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you go back in debt in the farming business again, I'm going to find you and kick your butt. Because after 3 times, you got to figure out this ain't working. Mm-hmm. Really. I mean, the combine thing, the reason it went down is you had big freaking combine payments. The reason the partnership on the business failed is you had big equipment payments. And now you got it again.
Mm-hmm. Because
you've got in your head, the way you grew up, that this is the only way to do farming. And it's not the only way to do farming because it's not working. And your problem is you're not an unusual story. I deal with farmers all the time that are dealing with what you're dealing with. It's very difficult. Farming is, to start with, very hard work. Unbelievable hard work. But on top of that, it's very difficult to do it with these big freaking equipment payments. It's almost impossible to make it. And yet farmers still, Dave Ramsey doesn't understand farming. No, I understand business. I understand business and math. And farming is a business, and math does not get an exception because you are feeding America. And we appreciate you feeding America. But it doesn't, patriotic stuff aside, the freaking math has to work. And that's the problem here. What will the equipment bring?
Oh, I would say roughly $450,000.
You think it'll bring enough to pay it all off?
Well, not quite. No, we'd be about $100,000 short.
Okay, so more like $350,000.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so basically, that's going to leave you about $350,000 if you sold off the equipment that you have to settle and clear, making 100 driving truck and feeding 3 kids. Okay. So I'm guessing you can probably settle most of that, not counting your dad, for about probably 10, 20 cents on the dollar. It's going to take some negotiation, but I mean, you probably settle $100,000 vendor bills for $25,000 is my guess. Okay. And so if you do that at, say, 25 cents on the dollar and you sell off the equipment, we basically got, it's going to take you about 100 and some change to get out of debt. Can you do that making 120? Yeah. but you're not going to see your family for 2 years. That's what you're giving up. Or you got to find another career that's different than driving a truck, that's going to make you similar money. Okay, I don't care which one you do. This just doesn't sound very fun. Sounds like a very tough thing to go through. So, are you guys in a good church?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Make sure you're sitting down with your pastor and talking about your marriage as soon as you get home. And start doing that once every 2 weeks. Have a checkup. Okay? Because this stuff, Sharon and I were right where y'all were. It'll destroy your life. It'll destroy your marriage. And it's not worth it. It's just stuff. Okay? I could go either way if I'm you, but you both got to be up for whichever way it is. Molly, I think I think you're tired and your tank is empty and you ain't got much fight left in you. And you've lost confidence in his ability to do math. And that some of that's valid. All of that's valid, actually. But if I were in your all's shoes, the way I look at bankruptcy, I look at it like a divorce. I try everything first to not do that. And so let's try some stuff. Okay. But it has to have a plan. And Caleb, for her to go along with that, she's going to have to see a detailed plan. And she's going to have, like you're going to have a new tattoo right inside your arm that says, I don't freaking borrow money for anything ever again the rest of my life, no matter what my stupid family says. That tattoo right there on the inside of your arm, you got it? Because you can't ever, because she's done, man. She's going to give you, she's going to stick with you, but she's done with this process of going deeply in debt. Is that fair, Caleb?
Sure is.
Yeah. So she'll run with you on this. You'll put some gas back in her tank if she can see that we're going to give this a hard run, and she'll handle the kids while you're on the road a little bit if we got a hard run, and you sell off this stuff, but only if you never go back. That was Sharon's and me. We said never again, never again, and we stayed married. We about killed each other, but we stayed married. Thanks for dropping by, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm pretty much a single married mother of two, and I just recently had to get a restraining order against my husband in January. Either way, I'm left with the responsibility and finances of two incomes, now on just one. Mm-hmm. I've done the budget on the app, on the EveryDollar app, mm-hmm. and I am just consistently on the red. Mm-hmm. I've done everything to try to bring all my expenses down the best way I could on just me and my two kids. I've done pretty good, but what really is, it's my rent, and I can't move until my lease is up because I don't want to break a lease. Mm-hmm. So,
how much? Wait a minute. Let me stop a second, honey. Okay, so mm-hmm. a restraining order. So he was physically abusive.
Around Christmas it was the last straw.
Yeah.
So
And how long have you been married? How long have you been married?
5 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay. What do you make, hon?
Well, my salary is 55, mm-hmm. 55,576.
What do you do?
So 55,000. I work for United States Postal Service.
Okay. And how old are your babies again?
6 and 4.
Okay. Is everybody safe now?
Yes. The restraining order has us safe at the home. Yes.
Okay. And well, they're not magic. So, but so far it has worked, right?
Yes.
Why'd you hesitate?
Because he's popped up, but as soon as I tell him to get out of here, I'm going to call the cops. He pretty much runs, but he doesn't make it easy for me. But and what I mean by that,
how many times has he popped up?
Twice so far.
Since January?
January 10th, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let me help you with a couple things. Now, sadly, because we help with people with financial crises, I've been in these situations many times in the last 30 years. And so I've been forced to learn a little bit about it, more than I wanted to, okay? because it's a filthy, horrible thing that you have endured. And I'm very sorry for you. The next time he shows up, don't threaten to call the cops. Call them. Put him in jail. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay? Quit playing games with this guy. He needs to go away. He's bad. Period. That's your Uncle Dave who loves you telling you that, okay? No screwing around with this. He goes to jail. He violated a restraining order. He is threatening you and the children. If he pops up again, he's going to pop in behind bars. I got you. Pop up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll put you where you can't breathe, okay? So I'm done with him. He's scum.
Okay.
Okay? Period.
Yeah.
And I've got to tell you that real directly and real loud because he has told you for 5 years 2 things really often, and if you're not careful, you start to believe them. One is that you'll never make it without him. And 2 is that he's really sorry. Well, he is really sorry, but I'm not talking about an apology here. I'm just talking about a sorry human being, okay?
Right.
So he ain't sorry. He's abusive. And you are 1,000 times better than he's been telling you for 5 years. You're going to make it. You're going to be fine. And we're going to put a team of people around you to make sure you do, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And you are going to break your lease because you can't afford it. How much is the payment?
$1,750.
Okay, so we're gonna have one of our financial coaches serve you at no cost to you. When we get off the phone, we're going to hook them up with you, and they're going to meet with you, and on your behalf, they're going to call the landlord and tell the landlord that the husband in the building has been beating his wife, and she can't afford the lease now that she threw him out like she should have 5 years ago. Okay? And the landlord's going to have some mercy and get the house rented to somebody else, and you're going to get something you and the kids can afford. You are not trapped, and you can make it without him. You make $55,000 a year. The lady that I'm talking to is articulate and intelligent.
Yes, thank you.
Aren't you? Aren't you?
Yeah, the best that I can, yes, sir.
Yeah, you are. I mean, everything I've heard was intelligent, didn't you, George?
Yes, you are a warrior. If you survive the crap from him, you're going to survive anything.
Yeah. Okay, so how much debt do you have other than this lease that's a problem?
Well, that's the thing. I don't have a car payment.
Good.
And I have 2 secured credit cards, each for $400, but I've paid them up.
Good. So you don't have any debt there.
No.
We'll convert you to a debit card on that. You're not going to spend money you don't have. You got $55,000 coming in. So your payments are food, lights, water, shelter. What else?
Mainly what it is that I'm not really taking home that much. See, when he, in the beginning of the year, when I got this restraining order, he also took all of our savings and money.
Yeah.
So he cleaned us out. And
we're also going to hook you up. We're also going to help you contact an attorney and get that back. Because it's not his, it's yours. And he left 2 little kids behind, and he's not paying any child support. And he's going to get the benefit of doing that, too.
Yeah, I started him I started the child support, but it takes a minute, you know.
Yeah.
But, I had to, but back to in the beginning when he did that, in order for me to pay the rent, I had to take a loan out against my 401k.
Okay, well, we're going to get that cleaned up.
I'm not taking home all that.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is you probably have too much taxes coming out of your check.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Was he handling all the money before?
No, we were both doing it.
Okay.
But
how big a tax refund did you get last year?
That's the thing. We owe $3,000. So I'm paying that too.
You're not. He is.
Well,
listen, he doesn't have legal options here. He gets to pay this stuff. And
he's relinquished our responsibility.
He doesn't get to.
He doesn't get to decide that. The judge will help him with that.
He may have as a husband and a dad, but financially speaking, he
Yeah,
can't
the
get out
judge
of
is going to
this.
go, innocent spouse syndrome, boom. You can file a code with the IRS that this debt with them is the result of your husband, and it's called innocent spouse. There's a whole form that does it. We can help you do that too, and then he gets to pay the $3,000. Ding ding. That's how that works. So what you need is some people in your corner that know how to fight some of this and get you back on balance, and we're just the ones. We're going to help you. Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna have to make some moves that aren't comfortable to get stabilized and get a sustainable situation after all this mess, because you have less income now to deal with, but you now have control of your life again and you're safe again. Okay?
Yes.
If he pops up again, say, Dave, I'm calling the cops. Say it.
Dave, I'm calling the cops.
There we go.
There you go. We love you, darling. You hold on. We're going to pick up, and we're going to take care of you. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Sabrina is in San Antonio. Hi, Sabrina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hi. So me and my husband, we are on baby step 2. We're almost done. We have about $12,000 left on our car, and my husband keeps trying to convince me that we should trade it in because we have, I guess, equity in it right now. And so we have $12,000 left. I Kelly blue booked our car. It's around $22,000. He is thinking we should upgrade to a bigger vehicle. So this value of the new vehicle would be $25,000. So about $3,000 more. And so I just wanted to see your opinion. I refuse to go to the lot because I don't, want to make a bad decision. So we have about 6 months left projected until we pay it off. And he just thinks we should trade it right now, and we're going to pay it off regardless this year. So that's kind of his mindset. I just want to get your opinion.
How old are you guys?
We're 29, 28, and we've done the stupid 10 years of car payments, and I'm so over it. But he just thinks we should upgrade to the biggest one, which is the Yukon. Right now we have a GMC Acadia, so he's wanting the more.
Why do you need to upgrade?
His reasoning, or the big reason would just be more room. We have 4 kids, and so there's really no trunk space. So I know it's silly, but
you do know they have large SUVs that are cheaper than 20, don't you?
Yes.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So part of the problem is we are not on baby step 2. You are.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Yes.
He's wanting to stay into debt, it sounds like. He's trading in one car payment for a slightly bigger car payment.
Yeah, like his view is, because I told him, the way Ramsey does it is we cash flow and then we trade it in and then we pay the difference. And he's like, well, why don't we just do that now and then pay it off all at once? But I'm like, no, I'm so ready to be done. And he's like, it's just $3,000 more. And I'm like, well, that's just.
Well, the dealer's not going to give you 22 for it if you trade it in.
No, that's true too. But let's just stay with the concept for a second. The concept though is he's willing to continue to borrow money to get what he wants.
Yep.
When he wants it.
Yes.
You got a 5th kid in the family. You didn't even know it.
Yes.
Mm. So I don't think the car is the issue. I think the car is revealing the issue that you all are not on the same page.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm you, that's what's disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what you would really do if you wanted a bigger car. You would buy an $18,000 one instead of a $25,000 one. And that would get you out of debt faster, and you'd have a bigger car. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think we have a discussion. I think the two of you need to have a discussion about the fact that the way you feel about debt and the way you feel when he acts this irresponsibly and contrary to what you believe and how you want to, you thought we were, it sounds like this, honey, I thought we were agreed that we were getting out of debt and staying out of debt, and now you're coming in here and extending the time that we're in debt to buy something that we obviously can't afford. Why didn't you come in here and suggest we buy something $18,000 that is larger? Because there's $18,000 SUVs out there. Agreed?
Agreed, yes.
Yeah. And why didn't you bring that in? And then we'd have had something to talk about, because that gets us out of debt faster and we get a larger car. But instead, you're scaring the crap out of me that I'm going to have to struggle with you the rest of our lives on this money issue. This is really scary for me. And you ought to bring that up to him that way.
Okay.
Because you don't really, you laughed, but you don't really want to be married to a little boy. You want to be married to a man that's walking along beside you.
Yes.
Shared goals. And it's not cute that you're the mommy. It's not fun for you. That's why I asked how old you guys are, because I was a little bit thinking you were a lot younger, honestly. Like you were 22 or something, and he still hadn't grown up, But maybe he's 29, but no, I would not go along with this. I would not go to the dealership. I will not sign this. I don't believe in it. You're scaring the crap out of me. But the car's not the problem. The problem is that you would bring this in here knowing how that's going to make me feel, that you disrespect me on that level. If I'm you, that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
It'd be like, let's pretend Sharon Ramsey came in and suggested we borrowed money. Can you imagine how that would go? I mean,
I'd get pay-per-view tickets to see that.
Yeah, that would be a hillbilly knockdown. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. That'd be a one of those fights, right? But I mean, obviously we've had those fights long ago in our marriage. We got past them, but I want you, I'm really concerned that you use this opportunity to get the two of you on the same page more than I'm concerned about the car transaction. And maybe bringing up, we could buy one for 18. Why didn't you bring me that? Is a good way to start talking about it. But most of all, if I were you, I would talk about how it makes you feel when he, how it makes you scared that he, he's going to mess up everything after you guys have worked so hard to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
It's just, at least he didn't come in and go, I want to borrow $60,000 and buy a brand new something. He didn't say that. So he's still thinking he's going to get it paid off in a year, but that means he's kind of like a 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
He didn't take it all the way to
We'll make the
DEF CON.
problem slightly worse.
Yeah. But the big problem is that that's a slippery slope. I mean, once you stick your toe in that water, the vortex will suck you in. It's just like, it's hard to go on the lot of a car dealer and not leave without a car.
It is dangerous.
It is, because they're fabulous cars.
And they're great salespeople.
Even if the salesman sucks, the cars are fabulous.
Start looking at these new features, and you're like, oh, man.
We got a lot more room. These little kids are on top of each other. I'm having to, the one benefit, though, of having them on top of each other is you can discipline them all at once.
That's easier.
You can reach them all.
That might be that's the parenting style Dave used to do back in his day.
I did. I grew up in the day when your mother would reach across the back seat and you could not find a way. You could not get away. There was no escaping. There was no dodging.
It's hard to do in the Yukon.
It was within reach. I'm just saying. Well, some of them have automatics that do that now. Automatic moms. They just
is that a thing?
I'm kidding.
That's a feature moms would pay for.
Yeah, I would pay for it as a grandparent. But there you go.
Just zap you in the seat if you're misbehaving. Just a little
zip, zip, zip. There you go.
So yeah, the key here is either sell the car private and she'd have $10K left after that, and they'd save up and pay for a car with cash, or wait, pay it off, then they can sell it and upgrade with cash. Either way.
Or if you want to reduce the debt, okay, she said she owes 12.
It's worth 22.
And if you sold it for 22 and you bought something for 18, you would only owe 8. And you pay that off in less than a year.
Yep.
But that's not really the strategy. The reason for bringing that up is to point out that he didn't bother to go that direction.
It was going
If he'd have gone that direction, I'd have actually maybe gone with him. I said, sure, yeah. You want to move up in car and down in debt? Yeah,
that's a plan.
Up in size, but not in value.
Yep.
You actually move down in value and down in debt, but up in size, yeah, I'm for that. It's like people call up and say, we owe $12,000 on our car and it's worth $12,000 or $10,000 or whatever, or, but it's we have a tiny little Honda or something, and we've got like 2 kids on the way. What are we going to do? Well, you can move to a $12,000 van. It's a break-even scenario. But don't go further in debt. People use all these events to justify going further in debt.
It's so easy to justify going into debt, especially cars. Well, Dave, it's for the safety and reliability. Yeah. No, it's not. It's for you.
It's for you. It's for you, little boy, little girl.
I want my truck. That's how they sound.
I want my
That's
truck.
all I hear.
My truck.
I'm sure your grandkid sounds like that.
Say that one more time.
I want my truck.
My truck.
That's Dave's grandkid right there.
This is the Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Catherine starts this hour off in Detroit. Hey, Catherine, how are you?
Hi, Dave and Ken. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I am seeking advice today on my relationship.
Okay.
I've been dating my boyfriend for almost a year, and things have been going really well. But I have concerns that as things continue to progress, hopefully down the path towards marriage, that our discrepancy in finances, specifically income, debt, retirement savings, will be a problem, and that ultimately I might kind of find myself in a sugar mama type situation, which I'd really
you don't want to be that girl. Yeah,
we already have a problem.
Yeah, I love it. Good for you. So, how old are you?
I'm 38, and he's 35.
Okay, cool. And what do you make?
I make 200, and he makes 45.
Okay, all right. And what does he do?
He works in construction.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
I work in the automotive industry.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with anything you've told me so far that makes us incompatible, as long as you're both in agreement. So what we've found is there's 4 things that good research is revealing that if you agreed on 4 things prior to marriage, you have a very high statistical probability of staying married. Number 1 is money, how we handle it, how we view it. Okay? Number 2, because money fights and money problems are number 1 cause of divorce. So you got to deal with it. So you're smart to call a money show and talk about this. Number 2, kids. Are we going to have them? How many? How are we going to treat them? Are the inmates going to run the asylum? That kind of stuff, right? Number 3, the crazy people in our family called in-laws, because everybody's got crazy in their family, and you don't think you do. It's you. So everybody's got it. So how are we going to handle that? How are we going to handle the extended crazy? And are we going to stand beside each other in that? And number 3 is religion, agreement on religion. And so if you're in agreement on those 4 things, you have a very high probability. Let's go back to the money one a minute. You obviously are a high-income earner, and he's obviously a construction guy out there doing it, and yet you're falling in love, and that's cool. All right? That's not my concern. My concern would be his view towards his debt. How much debt has he got, and how does he view it?
So he has around about 50,000, and when we started dating, I gave him the Total Money Makeover, and he read it, and I have seen him change his spending behavior. His started budgeting. Really trying to, save and attack debt.
So he bought into the idea that debt is bad and he wants to get rid of it.
Yes.
And you think debt is bad and you want to get rid of it. So you're aligned on that.
I'm completely debt free, baby step 6.
I'm not talking about where you are. I'm talking about what you believe.
Yeah.
You both believe debt is bad and you want to get rid of it.
Aligned, yes.
Okay. Then that's the important thing.
So what are you worried about?
If he says, "Oh, baby, it ain't no problem. I'm just going to work till Friday, and I'm going to get me a new truck whenever I want to," don't marry him. But he's not saying
what I'm
that.
Worried about? No, he's not. What I'm worried is just, or maybe need to kind of come to grips with is I've worked really hard to be in the financial situation I'm in because I've followed you all for, most of my adult life. And now we're talking about, what this would entail would be ultimately taking on someone else's debt because I don't see any ways getting out of it, in the next few years.
No, you're going to marry him and he's going to have debt and you're going to pay it off.
Well, wait a second.
Yep.
Why, wait a second. Wait.
What's wrong with that?
I have a quick question. What makes you think that it's going to take him 2 years or so to get, $50,000, if he gets serious and he is in alignment, he can get rid of this debt. You don't have to necessarily marry all of it. I think if he's aligned, what I'd want to know is how gazelle intense is he willing to get
and stay that way.
And stay that way so that you don't marry much, if any. First of all, he hadn't even put a ring on it. So
listen,
we don't know.
If he had $200,000 worth of debt and he's plowing through it and you marry into it, I'm okay.
Yeah.
As long as y'all are aligned on getting rid of it. That's the thing.
And,
you got to be aligned. What will kill you is not being aligned, not having, unless you just get all twisted up and bothered inside your head and go like, I did him a favor and he owes me the rest of his life. Now that's on you. But if you're willing to just throw in and say, all right, it's all in, everything's in the middle, and we're all going to get rid. We're going to use my assets, my debt, your debt. It's all ours now. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to live for the rest of our lives the way you've been living so far. Then you've got a good marriage match.
I think that sounds good. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, but if you're having to drag his butt along because he's going to misbehave, and he's going to, I've always, everybody has a car payment. Crap. Who needs that garbage? You don't want that. Then you're signing up for a problem.
Yeah, my concern, and again, I'm not saying this is this guy, but there's a difference between somebody believing something and doing something.
Yeah, I'd like to see him.
I want to see him.
He's starting to take action on his new beliefs, and as long as he does that, and he's really, he's taking 2 extra jobs and he's attacking this debt, and this may be a great find. He's a great guy. Yeah. He just needed somebody to show him the path, right? Yeah.
I think it's a great test too. Not that she says it that way and she doesn't position it that way, but if you're willing to say yes to this guy, I think you being willing to say yes if he proposes is based on you laying down the tough conversation now while we're dating. See, what we don't want to do is have the tough, difficult money conversations after we've gotten engaged or after we've gotten married. I think at this point, what you've laid out seems like he's a good guy and he seems like there's alignment. But now, Dave, is when I think we have the difficult conversation. And she goes, this is how I want to live. And I'm going to marry a guy who believes in living this way.
And what you want to marry into is a shared vision, not a messed up past.
Correct.
Everybody's got a messed up past.
That's right.
So we're marrying into a shared vision of where we're going.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind if you marry somebody who was an alcoholic for 10 years, but they've been dry for 3 years.
I agree. Yep.
And they've changed their life.
Yep,
I don't count the previous against them.
Yep.
I count where we're going is way more important than where we've been.
Yep.
And so, where we're going, where are we going? And are we going to go together? And we're going to be in agreement? If I have to fight you all the time about borrowing money and about saving money, I'm not going to be on. That's not an alignment. Mm-hmm. But if we're aligned on that, and I just got a head start on you, that's okay. That's okay. This is the Ramsey Show. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Michelle, how can we help?
Hi there. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
So my husband and I bought our house about 3.5 years ago, and it's a custom in my dad's culture to buy the house for their kids, but he couldn't afford it at the time. And now 3.5 years later, he can afford to pay off our house for us. And I'm just wondering if I should take that money and pay off the house or do something else with it.
What culture?
Lebanese culture.
Okay. And so how much is the payoff?
About $320,000.
And he's got the cash.
Correct.
Man, that's not in my culture.
I was going to say.
I need to call my culture committee and get that thing switched, man. That's incredible.
John, can you take the rest of this call? I'm going to go step outside and call my dad.
No kidding. I got a high five when I bought a house. My dad was like, get him, guys.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So is there any... So let me ask this. I think I understand your question, but it feels like there's a question behind this question.
Yes.
Are you concerned about something? Are you wary of how to do it? Tell us what you're rattling around in your head.
Are there strings with this money?
Yeah.
Well,
The house is in our name already. So
say that again.
Take the house. The house is in our name, so it's not like he can give us the money and take the house or anything. But he does like to brag about giving the money, but that's not really, I'm not too concerned about that. I just wondered if there was like a way to invest that money and take, and make like an monthly income off that money. I mean, I don't know. I'm not very smart with investing.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, first of all, the answer is yes, of course. What was the amount of money again? $320. Okay. So the question is Dad giving you a gift of $320,000 to do whatever you want with, or is he giving you $320,000 to pay this house off so that he can tell everybody, in my culture, this is what we do, and I've now done it?
Correct. The second one.
Okay. Well, and
so the first, that takes the question off the table that you asked us. It's not an option.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would not. If I had $320 left on my mortgage and somebody gave me a gift of $320,
I'd take it.
I would put it on my mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's a massive investment.
That's the ultimate investment. Then you have freedom. You can do whatever you want. You have no house payment.
Right.
And then everything you spend on a house payment, you can invest however you want to for the rest of your life because you don't have a house payment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Have you ever been in a house that you owned that nobody else could take from you?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hold on a second. I got to bring the good doctor in on here. Now, I may be reading into this, Michelle. Tell me. I do not mean being wrong. I have 3 teenagers and I've been married 25 years. Basically, my whole life I've been wrong. Okay? But it feels like when we're telling you this, John's laying this out and you're like, yeah, that's pretty neat. It doesn't feel like you think this is neat. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I mean, it would be nice if we had the money to pay off our own house.
Of course it would.
Of course. Do you feel then that is not okay? Now I think we got something.
Is it ego?
You don't want this. You want to feel like we did it.
Right. I mean, my dad bought me a car when I turned 18. He's like, "You're not touching my car, and that's my car, and don't take my car."
All right. Okay. That's the strings we're talking about. If he's going to give you that, and then he's going to say, "Whoa, you put your daughter in a nicer school than that." And you and your husband say, no, we decided on this public school. And he goes, no, I paid your house off. You put that kid, if that's going to be the life you're signing up for, I wouldn't touch that money. Because then you're trading being a slave to a mortgage company to being a slave to somebody who just gave you $320,000 and thinks they just bought a claim into your life.
Yeah, I mean, he says he wants me to have peace of mind. And he's actually changed a lot, especially having grandkids now. He's a lot softer around the edges. So,
but you wouldn't be calling us if you were not nervous about taking this check.
Well, of course. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but
he's your dad.
Is this how serious is this? Is this him telling you think he's going to weigh in more, and you want him to stop weighing in, or is this just I want to be a big girl and do it on my own? Which one is it, or is it both?
Well, I mean, I would like to do it on my own, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell somebody you can't give me $320,000.
All right, but then answer the other issue. You think he's going to give him more entree into your life to make a comment here and there if he does this?
I mean, maybe a comment here and there, but I don't think he's going to.
Well, I'll tell you what I would do.
He's gotten a lot better.
So you called to get our opinion, yes?
Of course.
All right, I'll give you mine real quick. That issue lies with me. If I had an opportunity, my dad, because of his culture, wanted to give me the money, and this was something he did, I would take it, and I would go, if he makes a comment at Thanksgiving or makes a comment at Christmas or he comments on the kids' school or the kind of car we buy, I'm just going to smile and wave. My favorite line from the movie Madagascar. The little penguin. Smile and wave, boys. I just going to take the high road and go, $320,000 debt-free house, $320,000. I don't know. I'm gonna take it to my professional friend there.
That's what I would do unless you know. So I'm thinking if Dave Ramsey came to me and said, "Hey, John, you've been a faithful employee for X number of years. I'm going to give you $350,000. Oh, and by the way, you're now on call 24/7, 365." I wouldn't take that money. I've been on call for 20 years. I've lived that life. I'm tired. I want to go be with my family. So I would tell him, "Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. The money would be awesome. I could do some great things with it, but it's not worth selling part of my soul." If he called me in and said, "Hey, here's $350,000. You've been a great, faithful employee. I loved your work, and I just see you here for the next decade, and just wanted to honor you and your family," I would do somersaults out the building, and probably my shirt would fly off as I ran to my car, screaming and yelling and cheering. I'd be that happy. Okay, and so only you know what the strings are with this money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if you're saying no because I just want to do it myself, that's ego.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Flush that down the toilet, man.
Yeah.
That's how people stay chained to like car payments and student loans. That's ego. My kid got into this school. You can't afford that school. Well, we're going to make it work because that's ego.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, no, my dad becomes a third adult in our household, I'm not touching that money.
And by the way, if it's not a resentment thing, I would do it. And if I would put up with all of his stories, let him crow, sing, yell, scream about how he paid your house off.
Kid,
I
think
don't
about this.
care.
What if you
great.
were able to give your kids $320? I would be so happy. I'd want to tell everybody.
100%.
I was able to help my kids out like this.
Yeah,
that's legacy.
I don't hear anything, Michelle, that says you shouldn't take the money. I'd take the money. I really would. Maybe do a little Monopoly money, humble pie, and eat it. I would pay the house off instantly. I go, Dad, this is great. You're the best. You're the man.
I'm calling my dad right now.
Me too.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Joe was waiting in San Antonio. Joe, welcome to the show.
What's happening, guys? Thank you so much for taking my call. I love your show. You guys are incredible.
Oh, thank you. We're honored to have you. How can we help today?
I think this is a no-brainer, but I'm still going to ask because I'm old and semi-senile, and I don't want to make a mistake.
Well, you're self-aware enough that tells me you're still here with us.
I just don't want to make a mistake at my age. I'm 69 years old. My wife and I are both retired. We live off of Social Security. We have no debt at all. My house is worth probably $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
We have no credit cards, no car payments. We're debt free, right?
Right. Do you have any retirement?
No, that's all we live off is the Social Security.
And how much is that every month?
That's like $3,500 a month.
Okay, $3,500 a month. No nest egg. Got it.
Well, there's a nest egg, but
well, how much is it?
I don't touch it. About $100,000.
Okay.
Okay. And what's the question?
So what I want to do, I have the opportunity. I live on 2 acres. I have a big shop in the back that I'm not using all, and I was thinking of converting that into a what do you call it? I can't think of it. A little apartment. Can't think of the name right now. Anyway.
So just adding
I was thinking
on.
about taking out I'm sorry. What's that again?
You're just adding on an extra room.
Yeah, but it's not a part of my house. It's on my property, but it's on my shop in the back of the property.
Okay.
Or next to it, one or the other. Approximately 600 to 1,000 square feet. I haven't really decided.
Okay.
But I want to know that since I don't want to touch that nest egg, should I take a first lien loan out on my mortgage?
No way, man. Why would you do that?
Well, because I can get a write-off. I can use it.
Oh, my gosh.
No. Oh.
Joe, you know who says I'm going to do it for the write-off? Broke people who don't understand how taxes work. You're going to put your home at risk, go into debt after being completely out of debt at 70 years old for a write-off?
Yeah.
You don't need it. How much is it going to cost?
That's why I called.
How much is it going to cost
to get my brain straight?
What's the addition going to cost?
What's that?
What's the addition going to cost you?
Roughly between $50,000 to $60,000.
And what's it going to do for you?
Yeah, what's the purpose?
Well, they'll bring in roughly an extra income, anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
How do you know someone's going to pay $1,500 a month for a 600 square foot spot on a farm?
Pretty proven.
By who?
It's going to happen. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, Joe, but think about this. The ROI in this thing, let's say $1,200 a month, 12 months a year. Let's say that's all pure net profit. You never have a single expense, which is a lie. That's $14,000 a year. So even then, it's going to take years to ROI on this $60,000 purchase.
Uh-huh. And you don't need it because you've been saying you've been living off your social security just fine.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to cost more than that to get this thing up and running.
I do too.
It just may.
I mean, plumbing,
it may take around
electricity.
That's what I'm saying.
HVAC.
But yeah, exactly. No, I've already done all the figures, and it can get up there.
I mean, if you had a way,
such a big equity in my house, that's the only way I can probably recapture some of the equity. I'm not going to lose the house because I've already done the math. Kind of, $50,000 is $577 a month for 12 years.
Here's the thing. I'm not really sure what you need the extra $1,200 a month for, unless he was going to take that money and invest it, and that was. But
I think we're getting a little starry-eyed, Joe. I'd back up. I think the reason you called was because you knew deep down in your heart this was probably a bad decision, and we were here to validate that. And now we're the bad guys for ruining Joe's dream. But
no,
hey,
we're the good guys for keeping him in his right mind.
That's the show.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Back before Thanksgiving, I discovered your show, and I started listening actively. And I thought, my whole setup of how I did money and business was very much off. And I thought, I got to start rearranging things and get on the baby step. My husband and I are on the baby steps. We secured the first step, and we were also getting, listening to some of your advice about having all of our accounts merged. So we had put our savings and our checking account together in both names, and my husband had a separate account that he had for probably about 25 years. And I told him, I said, you should really put me on that account. This way we can, put some money in that too. And it was a good thing I started listening to your show because it really helped me discover really what was going on. I'd always been pretty proactive with my own money as much as I could be, as much as I knew how to be. But on the 2nd of December, my husband had called about his other account, which for the longest time it had been pretty dormant. I think he had $100.26 in there for the longest time. And the bank had told him that he was overdrawn $3,000. And he of course called me immediately and told me, how can this be? I said, you need to call the bank back and ask what's going on here. So he called the bank, and they had told him that the teller or whatever had given out $3,000, and it got written off his account because his account was one number off from a customer that had it withdrawn from his account, which really made no sense to us. We couldn't understand how.
You're telling me they fat fingered the wrong account number and withdrew his account by negative $3,000.
$3,000. But it gets even crazier what we've been going through with it, because they said that this had happened back in May of 2024, and here we are in December, and they'd said, well, we closed your account in July 8th, and we were like, we never got notice of this. And my husband wasn't as proactive with this other account because he figured,
clearly,
oh, it's there. I don't have to worry about it. And I just thought, oh, no. So we'd gotten a letter from them, saying, even a copy, saying we're sorry, there was a mistake, and even showing us the teller's number and the individual's name of who got the money, but it didn't solve our problem. They said, the bank then told us they would send us a check for $100.26, which is what my husband had in the account, and he told them, I'm not doing business with you folks because this is nuts.
Okay.
But they had put my husband into check systems and also gave him a negative credit report across the board. And we were just like, I can't believe this is happening. And
I feel like you guys have been burning too many brain calories on this.
Yeah,
you
way
take
too
the
many.
check, you dispute it on the credit report, and we move on with our life, and we never do business with this bank again.
But, that's not all, though, because we got the check for $100.26. We thought, okay, it's over. We're done. They're going to fix it. That's not what happened. Then, December 19th, they sent us a check for $2,899.74. And we're like, what's going on here? And a paper saying that, you're still in check systems, you can deal with this with them. And we're like, what? So I contacted an attorney. Because if you add the $2,899.74 with $100.26, you come to $3,000. So they were still making us look like we had a black eye, my husband.
Okay.
So we were like, what's going on here?
Talk to the bank about that?
they told us, oh no, we can come and we'll even come to your house and pick the check up. I said, I've never heard of stuff like this before.
What?
Is it a big bank?
Is it a mom and pop?
No, it's a big bank.
Yes.
Which we were just shocked by.
So here's exactly what's happening. I'd be willing to bet my truck's not very nice, but I'd be willing to bet my truck this is what's happening. They're a humongous bank. One teller either is screwing with the system, but more than likely he made a mistake. He or she made a mistake, and they doled out $3,000 to the wrong account. Fine. There's no person at a humongous bank. It's all automated. And I can almost guarantee you that whatever email address your husband signed up on that account 15 years ago or whatever, he's got emails from that bank that were automated and just cranked out. Or he got letters that he just didn't open because he knew he had $100 in that account. Everything on those big banks is automated. Even the refund check that accidentally got automated to you guys. And so, stop doing business with a big bank. That's why I like a bank. I was texting my banker today, right? I like that. I like having their cell number. And I'm an old Luddite when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I like knowing the person to call. And like George said, you guys are wasting way too many brain calories on this. You don't need to get an attorney. You need to dispute it with the credit reports.
We did, and they did send them a letter, and they said they're still going to clear it with check systems, so we're waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, they will. You're just dealing with a bunch of zeros and ones. You're not dealing with people. But here's the thing. I'm going to go back. Companies make mistakes. Big systems make mistakes. That's why we tell everybody to check your stuff every month.
Well, we had moved, and we had given our new address, but nothing had ever come here. And the old address...
Or your husband says he did.
He actually changed his address with the bank.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Not with USPS, but did you change it with the bank?
He says he did.
Yeah, but probably not, right?
Oh, he said he did.
I know.
I don't think this is worth fighting with him over. I don't think this is worth...
No, I mean, we're not fighting about it, but you know what I mean? It certainly makes you feel a certain type of way. It's very jarring and shocking.
That's right. That this could happen.
$3,000. It's like, wow, how did this happen? And it sat there for so long.
It's just computer on computer, and a humongous bank that's worth $2 trillion. They're just going to write it off and go. It's not worth. They've done the actuarial table. It's not worth their time to mess with $3,000. They just peg your credit and they write it off and they move on.
None of this is malicious or personal. It was just someone who was inept.
Yeah, it's a system. And
well, I can say I'm just glad that I did tap into your show and got more proactive with checking.
Good. And also, I don't let money just sit around. I want my money to have a goal and a purpose. And so if it's not your checking for bills, put it in a high-yield savings account.
Okay.
Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
I'm
get
just
paid
getting
on it.
started. Like I said, before Thanksgiving, just discovered your program and just getting started.
So here's the deal.
You know.
Can I flip this whole thing around for you?
Sure.
You're awesome.
Thank you for saying that.
You're awesome. You started digging into some challenges, and you drank the Ramsey Kool-Aid. Welcome to our cult. We're going to hook you up with Financial Peace University. You and your husband can watch that. We're going to pay for it. And we'll hook you up with Every Dollar app that y'all can share together, and y'all can start keeping track with all of your money. So hang on the line here. We'll get you hooked up. But let's flip this whole thing around. Wow. Y'all caught a $3,000 error, and the bank's trying to fix it for you. That's amazing. That's awesome. You're getting back on the right track. So I'm glad y'all started digging into this stuff because now we're on the right path.
Focus on the future.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.